He said to them, O foolish ones, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Was it not necessary that Christ should suffer those things and enter into his glory? And beginning from Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. It is Monday, the 30th day of January 2023. Clive Walsh here, inviting you to join me for the reading of our devotional thought for today. And it's being read from the devotional book which is entitled Truth for Life, 365 Daily Devotions, Volume 2, by Pastor Alistair Begg. Today's devotional thought is entitled Seeing All of Christ. That's Seeing All of Christ. And the verses, Luke chapter 24, verses 25 through 27, and it reads, He said to them, O foolish ones, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Was it not necessary that Christ should suffer those things and enter into his glory? And beginning from Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. That's Luke chapter 24, verses 25 through 27. Alistair Begg writes, What are you expecting a life of following Jesus to be like? Luke does not introduce us to a great variety of post-resurrection appearances by Jesus. He instead chooses to focus our attention on the interaction between the risen Christ and two individuals walking along the road of Emmaus. Individuals who were wavering between faith and fear as they tried to make sense of life in light of the crucifixion. Jesus' death had confronted these early believers with a problem, namely, that their hope in Jesus as the Messiah had died with him. Indeed, Luke records for us that they had hope that he was the one to redeem Israel. Luke chapter 24, verse 21. These individuals had expressed that when the Messiah came, he would bring victory, peace, and justice that would roll down like a vast and overwhelming river. Amos chapter 5, verse 24. But this hope had come to a crashing halt at the cross, where injustice seemed to have triumphed. Yet something even better was about to happen. While they were talking and discussing together, Jesus himself drew near and went with them. Luke chapter 24, verse 15. Aware of their perplexity and hopelessness, Jesus, beginning with Moses and all the prophets, interpreted to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. It wasn't that these people were unbelievers. It wasn't that they didn't know certain things the prophets have said, but in their reading of the Old Testament and in their thinking about Messiahship, they had failed to grasp the big picture. They had not been paying attention to all that the prophets have spoken. They had focused on only one side of the story. They had warmed to the idea of victory. They had failed to see that glory and victory lie at the end of the path of suffering, even death. We cannot embrace Jesus as Messiah apart from the cross. Jesus was very clear. Victory surely awaits, but only for those who take his word in Luke chapter 9, verse 23 to heart. If anyone comes after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily and follow me. Are you willing to follow the path of suffering in order to enjoy a life with Christ in his glory? Are you at risk of turning away from God because he has not given you a victory in this life that he never promised? Be sure to see the whole picture, so that the setbacks and suffering do not defeat your faith to destroy the joy that comes from knowing that at the end of a hard path following a crucified King awaits the victory of seeing his face and living in eternal kingdom. However hard or good the days of this life are, something better is always lying ahead. A great reminder, no matter what your day has been like, perhaps your week or your month, or even the year, it is nothing compared to what lies ahead. Keep looking to the cross, seeing all of Christ. And that's our devotional thought for today. Those of you reading through the Bible in a year, Isaiah chapter 26 and 27, and the Gospel of Mark chapter 6, verse 30 through 56, your assignment. And may the Lord richly bless you. My name is Clive Wall.